Let's see how we go this time. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tazai Groovy Guy. Today we're going to be having a look at, or another look at, Transformers Titans Return Voyager class Galvatron with Nucleon. There's little Nucleon there. There he is, with his smeared red eyes. Oh, he looks gruesome, doesn't he? As you can tell, he is a Voyager class, and he's probably, this is his canon mode, and this is probably the best depiction of Galvatron in toy form that I have seen, or at least handled. So kudos to Hasbro for finally getting a decent canon mode, but the other two modes sort of take away from it a bit. Yeah, so there's the canon mode. There's no firing gimmick or anything here. There is a pointless gimmick though, if you're interested in those. If you take the cannon off, see this little cavity here, this little bit here, you can fit your little Nucleon buddy in there. You just gotta bend his arms out so he looks like that. It looks like he's ready to sit, because that's what he's going to do. He just sits in there like that. That is an actual official mode that's not referenced in the instructions, and you can kind of understand why. It's really dumb. I mean, if you put him into, this is the only way you actually use this. So there, there he is there, sort of piloting the cannon from upside down view. Unless you try to put it like that, but I don't know if the arms will work like that. Yeah, anyway, so there's cannon mode. I think the cannon mode is awesome. Oh yeah, for the legs, people have been saying they're having trouble getting the legs together in cannon mode. I transform it so these grey bits flip out. Gives me a bit more leverage, and also, I don't know if it'll come up well on the camera, but there's little divots in the legs. I'm pointing right at it. There's divots in the legs, and there's little purple bits that come off the purple crotch plate here. They actually lock in together. So when you get those locked in together, yeah, you should be able to get the legs together pretty dang well. Next up, spaceship mode. So we'll be right back with that. Okay, so here we are in his spaceship mode, and I don't mind the spaceship mode. It's a pretty cool take. There's a big old cannon there, little cockpit that you can set little Nucleon in, and he's still in his little sitting position from cannon mode. So let's pop him in there and close him in. Now he's ready for his mystical journey to like nowhere. So yeah, there's the spaceship mode. It's basically just Galvatron doing the splits and having his cannon in places that it really shouldn't be. Yeah, that's the ship mode. I said ship mode. Ship mode. Yeah, so next up will be robot mode. Here we have Galvatron in robot mode, except he's missing, well, his arm cannon. Whoops. Put that in. There we go. Alright, now we got Galvatron in robot mode, except for his head. For those that are curious, that's how he looks. Ugh. That's how he looks with the Galvatronus head from Combiner World Cyclonus. Looks pretty mean, but it also looks pretty big. I think someone might be able to create something like a disc that can slip in here, because that just easily pops out. A disc that can go in there, and then something that can go into there, and then boom, you got a head. But taking this guy apart, the head ball joint is too small to plug into this hole. Basically the head will still just be sitting on there, not being attached by anything. But I mean, that's how Galvatron looks with the Galvatronus head. Now let's see how he looks with the Galvatron head. So just got to pop that off, pop that on, and then pop the helmet up. And that is probably the worst gimmick I've ever come across. It's really pointless. It just takes away from the figure. For some reason on my figure it makes a weird effect on the reds in his eyes. It gives him white like flares, similar to how the eyes looked in the animations on Beast Wars. Like, they probably won't show up on camera at all. But yeah, it just seems to add an effect to his eyes, which is really odd. Also, some people have had complaints with his head socket. Mine seems to be a bit dicky. The head does like to sort of not stay in all the way. I've also seen reports of people taking the head off and the little Nucleon head is still stuck inside Galvatron, so I hope no one gets that. I hope that problem gets sorted pretty soon. Now I just want to do a little fan fiction, tell you the fan fiction of how I justify Galvatron being a headmaster. It involves Japanese Transformers continuity as well as stuff taken from Beast Wars. Basically, Galvatron saw the way the headmasters worked, which was a small robot controlling a larger body. So what Galvatron did was he extracted his spark from the bigger body and put it into a small body like this. So that way the whole big body can take damage with no real threat to Galvatron's spark since it's being held in the head. That's basically how I explain to myself how Galvatron's a headmaster. None of this whole nonsense about him merging with a fleshy organic or anything of the sort. He's just Galvatron with a crazy idea. So there's Galvatron in his robot mode. Got a few comparisons here. What do we got? This is the second time I've done this, again with the dicky recording from before. There he is with Combiner Wars Optimus. So yeah, pretty level there. I actually really like Galvatron without the mask, like just with the grey head. I mean, it's a shame they couldn't paint the purple on here. I mean, there's obvious ridges, but you know, obvious definition in there to paint, but they just decided to skimp on it. So there's Optimus. Here he is with Ultra Magnus. Ugh. Apologies, just gonna need to move the camera a bit. So yeah, there he is with Ultra Magnus. I think that's a pretty good scale there. His obsession with Ultra Magnus, which came because when Galvatron was made, he was told to destroy the leader of the Autobots, who at the time was Ultra Magnus. Speaking of who did become leader of the Autobots, here he is with Henkei Rodimus in the Fans Project's Protector armor. Ugh. Still way off shot there, aren't I? I apologise for that. There we go. It's kind of an okay scale. I think Rodimus Prime is meant to be a bit more equal to Galvatron. This one he looks a bit wimpy, doesn't he? Mania King. I know everyone pronounces him as Mania King, but I pronounce him as Mania King because he was created from the maniacal Megatron. So there's those two there. Yep, there's those two. Here he is with... I can't remember who did this guy actually. It's not off the top of my head. Here he is with Hegemon. See if I can get him to stand. There we go. So that's pretty awesome scaling there. You can actually, they do actually look like they're the same mold. As you can tell, they're both transformed, standing pretty straight, and they're pretty much the same size. Top it all off, here he is with Combiner Wars Cyclonus, carrying Nightstick. Come on. Apologies for all the movements of the camera. And last but not least, here he is with Scourge holding Fracas. So yeah, Scourge is pretty small in comparison to these two, but he was just a deluxe. There we go. Yeah. So there's a pretty mean looking Unicron trilogy there. Yeah, so I'm going to call the video there. I'm just going to say that this Galvatron is an awesome looking figure. It's very nice to have one that's not that... Well, it's very nice to have an official Galvatron toy that wasn't that weedy Universe tank from nearly a decade ago now. Also, I do have the Fake Busker Shapeways add-ons coming, which is a helmet and the little connector that allows you to have the arm cannon attached to the side there. So they should be arriving in a couple of weeks, and as soon as they arrive, I'll be having a video with them. Oh, I also like to have that bit up like that, just for a bit more toon accuracy. Now on camera, he looks really out of place, but having it in hand, it really doesn't look that bad. It's just on camera for some reason it looks ginormous. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope whatever you do for the rest of the day, you do it well and you have fun with it. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to click the like button. Still after 100 subscribers before Christmas 2016, so you can hit the subscribe button. That will be a good deed for the day. Alright, thank you very much guys. I'll see you next time. Bye now.